I would like to thank Attila the Q for sending me this story that is coming out of Seattle, Washington, and you can already tell by the mugshot. We are talking about an Asian man today, even though the story is actually alluding to two men, but they only have the mugshot of this one guy right here. So this guy's name is Scott Barry Yukita, and he is, as well as another man, is accused of luring, raping, terrorizing underage girls. Just hearing those words alone lets you know that this is not a one-off thing. This is something that's been ongoing, because they said luring, raping, terrorizing underage girls, and it says underage girls, which means all of these girls, all these females were under the age of 18. So these were all minors. So let me go ahead and get into it. King County prosecutors say for 2 long years, 2 men preyed on and terrorized underage girls in the Seattle area. 37-year-old Scott Barry Yukita, who is the one on your screen, and 34-year-old Thomas Edward Lee Anderson are both charged with multiple counts of child rape and promoting the commercial sexual abuse of a minor. Detectives say it wasn't until the first victim became suicidal that anyone knew what was going on in a basement apartment in the U District for 883 days. In January of 2018, a Kirkland police officer was called to one of the area schools after a student reported to a youth advocate she was thinking of taking her own life. What she told the officer was heartbreaking and horrific. According to the probable cause statement in the summer of 2015, the girl identified as HG met Yukita and Anderson on the social media site meetme.com when she was only 12 years old. She said the 2 men contacted her through the app and offered to pick her up so they could smoke marijuana and drink alcohol. HG told investigators they drove her to a basement studio apartment near 12th Avenue Northeast and Northeast 50th Street where they got high and drunk. She said that's where both Yukita and Anderson violently raped her for 3 days, threatening violence if she left. HG reported Yukita put her phone in airplane mode, searched her contacts for family members, and said he would kill her family if she did not recruit other girls to the apartment. She described being brought into the apartment's bathroom, shown 55-gallon drums, and told they were used those barrels to dissolve bodies and they could make her disappear. The first victim recruited a 14-year-old girl identified as SS to come to the apartment August of 2015, according to court documents. That girl said she was beaten and raped by Yukita, then raped again by both Yukita and Anderson. SS said they took naked photos of her for potential clients, but in the same night recruited 2 other men who paid to have sex with the juveniles and raped both girls. She told detectives Yukita offered them up for $1,000 if the clients used a condom or $2,000 without one. SS said she filed a police report with the Bellevue Police Department, which was then forwarded to Seattle Police. The first victim identified the third girl she was forced to recruit into prostitution, who was just 15 years old, identified as IH. Like the others, she said she was raped by the 2 men threatened and forced into prostitution. IH said the men even videotaped the assault. IH secretly took a photo of the male sitting in the apartment, telling detectives she did that so she could later identify him. Prosecutors described the extreme fear and terror all 3 victims felt. Court documents state the victims were made to believe that they had become a part of the defendant's street gang because of the rapes and therefore had become the gang's chattel. The defendants systematically instilled fear in each of the victims by using social media and the girls' phones to learn about their personal lives. They threatened to kill the victims' parents and siblings and burn down their homes. Thomas Edward Lee Anderson is currently in King County Jail. Police are still trying to track down Scott Barry Yukita, so they're still looking for him. And then I just give some additional information like a contact number to call if they have any information. And the case is scheduled for an arraignment on March 25th. That's scary. That's scary right there. So basically, like they said, they were using that girl as a madam to recruit other girls into a prostitution ring that they pretty much in the infancy stages of starting. And they only were successful with 3 of them. But one thing I always have to add in there is that parents, they need to really, really monitor these social media sites that a lot of your kids be going on. Like, what was a 12-year-old doing on a dating site or a hookup site? Because that doesn't sound like a dating site. It said meetme.com, so it definitely was a hookup site. So you definitely have to monitor your children's social media and everything that they go on, especially when it comes to something like that, because stuff like this will indeed happen. But as for this one and the other one, they said they already have the other one, but they need to hurry up and find this guy right here, because he's definitely he's definitely a menace to society for sure. Like, look at all the stuff that they made those girls do. They made the first one basically become a recruiter for them at 12 years old. They're going to be, oh, no doubt in my mind, they're going to be traumatized for the rest of their life. Now, this says at the time she was 12. So all these girls are older than their ages at that current time, because they said this goes back to 2015. So you're talking 6 years ago. But, yeah, that's crazy. And stuff like this happens more often than not. Now, I would like to know from the Asian community, are they going to address this? That's what I'd like to know. And this happened back in 2015. And there is the fact is that they're just talking about it now because the trial is about to, the arraignment is about to begin. And this is finally getting exposed. But they said they're still looking for him. And they probably not going to really make a move or anything because they want to have him, because both of these guys worked together. But I thought it was interesting that his was the only mugshot that we see. And they didn't put the image of the other guy, even though it was a 2-man crew. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this story down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you have not done so already. Make sure that you text the number that is pinned down in the comments below so you can receive notifications every time I upload a new video.